Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'll be explaining the Math AMS of Term 3 Week 8. So before we start this video, if you guys would like to have a small laugh, I chose all the jokes that people put in the previous video and I'm gonna put them over here. So we start with the dad jokes. I believe they're all dad jokes or more like puns, I don't know. So we start with the first person, Humaid Abdullah. I'd tell you a construction joke, but I'm still working on it. And then he proceeds to reply to his own comments. So funny. It reminds me of the people who talk to themselves in my comments. Yeah, guys, please don't lose your mind on my comments, okay? We move on to the next person, Hussein Al-Mur. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. I see. We move on to the next from Hassan Ibrahim. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. A very cheesy joke, I see. Then we have from Mina, shut up. I think it's only Mina. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. They don't have the guts, okay. Then we have Ski 11 Shot 51 who actually commented on Mina's joke, saying ChatGPT type of joke, and then proceeds to put a ChatGPT kind of joke. Gotcha, here's one that should hit the funny bone or at least tickle it. Why did the math book look sad? Because it had too many problems and the teacher kept telling it to solve its own issues. Okay, I see. And then an unnecessary, if that one flopped, I've got backups like my Wi-Fi. I keep trying to connect. I didn't understand the last part, but thank you for the funny joke. So thank you for these people for putting a very, very funny mood in the comments. Thank you, Anjad. So let's not waste any more time. It's already been like 2 minutes. And let's get back to the video. Now, this is only 9 questions. It's a very simple quiz. I think you guys are supposed to know how to solve these because these are like grid questions. But anyways, let us start with the first question. The first question says 1 pint is 28.875 cubic inches. Okay, so a lab technician has 2 pints of diluted acid that he will dispense in identical cylindrical test tubes. That means if you find the volume of one test tube, it's gonna be the same for all test tubes, each having a radius of 1 inch and a height of 4 inches. Because it is a cylindrical test tube, we will need to find the volume. What is the volume of a cylinder? It is pi r squared h. So the volume of one test tube, it is pi times the radius, which is 1 squared, times the height, which is 4. So it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 4 pi. Okay? The technician fills each tube with diluted acid up to 85%. What does it mean? It means he will not use the 4 pi of the whole cylindrical test tube. Instead, he will use 85 over 100 or 85% of, which means times the 4 pi, which is the total volume of the cylindrical test tube. If you put it on your calculator, by the way, if you want to get the answer, you can put it without pi. So it's 85 over 100 times 4. It will give you 3.4, and then you just put the pi. So it's 3.4 pi. So 85% of its capacity means 85% of the total volume of one cylindrical test tube, which is 3.4 pi. They said, given that 1 pint is about 29 cubic inches, what is the maximum number of test tubes he will be able to prepare? Maximum means he needs to fill it to the max. He needs to make it fully full, okay? That means he needs to be using all of the 3.4 pi. So that means if you have any decimal places, you will disregard them, you will not count them. And yeah, very simply, that's it. But we go back to the beginning of the question. He has 2 pints of diluted acid. What does this mean? If 1 pint is 28.875, that means 2 pint is gonna be what? It's gonna be 2 times 28.875, which is what? Which is 57.75. Now, let us find how many he needs, okay, or what's the maximum number of test tubes he will be able to prepare. It's gonna be the total volume he has, which is 57.75, over the total volume used. Keep in mind the total volume used, so not this one, but this one. So over 3.4 pi, and it's gonna give us an answer which is what? Which is 5.41. But we said if we have any decimal places, even if it's 5.9, 5.8, whatever, you will disregard it. Okay, you will forget it exists and you will take only the whole number. So he will be able to fill maximum to the top. Yani he can fully fill what? The 5 test tubes. Okay, if you got, for example, 6.01, you're gonna take it as 6. If it's 5.99, you will take it as 5. When we're dealing with values, you take the exact amount. So you cannot have any decimal places, so you'll have to take the whole number. Okay, so we move on to question number 2. What does question number 2 say? It says points P and Q are given on the grid, and PR is 2 minus 2. They said XY is a vector in the same direction as RQ. The magnitude of XY is equal to twice the magnitude of RQ. They want us to find the points of R. Okay, we need to find R. Okay, we have what? We have P, and we have the vector PR. So, very simply, what are we applying over here? We're applying that the final point is equal to the initial point plus the vector. Okay, our vector is PR, so from point P till point R, this is the vector, which is 2 minus 2. And then, the point P, by looking here, it is what? It is 1, 4. So, if you were to make it an equation, 1, 4 plus 2 minus 2, you're going to get the value of R. So, 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? And 4 minus 2 is 2. So, that means the point of R is going to be 3, 2, which is over here. So, we have the value of point R, which is 3, 2. Okay? We move on to part B. The vector RQ can be represented by the column vector. So, remember, we found that point R was in this place over here, which is 0.32. They want to find the value of the vector RQ. We know that final is equal to initial plus vector. But if we need to find vector, then you will move the initial to the other side. Vector is equal to final minus initial. So the final point based on the vector, which is RQ, is Q in this case. So what's the position of Q? Q, it is 4. So vector is equal to 4, 2. Minus the initial point, which is point R, which is what? Which is 3, 2. So then after subtraction, you will get the value of the vector to be what? To be, don't forget the vector, you put it vertically. You're going to get your answer to be 1, 0. So the answer over here, it is what? It is 1, 0. We move on to part C, XY. What does it say? The magnitude of XY is equal to twice the magnitude of RQ. So we found the RQ, which is 1, 0. So XY is going to be twice or double. That means you have to multiply the full thing by 2. Okay? And you will get an answer of 2, 0. So this is the vector XY. It is 2 and 0. We move on to question number 3. What is the radius of a sphere of volume 5,324 over 3 pi? Okay, very simply. You should know that the volume of a sphere, you know its equation is supposed to be what? It's 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Okay? So we have what? We have this equation over here, which is 5,324 over 3 pi. It is equal to what? It is equal to the volume of a sphere, and they want us to find the value of the radius. For us, the radius is gonna be r. Okay? So, they gave us the volume of a sphere, which is 5,324 over 3 pi. It's equal to the equation of the volume of a sphere, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed, okay? And we need to find the radius of the sphere, meaning we have to find the value of r. So personally, how I would do this, I would cancel the 3 and the 3, I would cancel the pi and the pi, and now I'm left with what? 5,324 is equal to 4 times r cubed. I would move 4 to the other side, so 5,324 over 4 is equal to r cubed. So if you put it on your calculator, 5,324 over 4, that is 1331, okay? So 1331 is equal to r cubed. Now, to find the value of r, you have to find the cubic root of 1331. You could do this mentally, and if not, you could do what? You could do shift radical. So you see your radical on the calculator, or the square root, you do shift radical, and you will get the third root, or the cubic root. Okay, so shift radical 1331, you will get that the value of r is what? It is 11. So as you can see, we went through just like a few steps in order to find what? In order to find the radius of a sphere of a certain volume. If this comes in the exam, just remember very simply, just take the volume, make it equal to the equation of the volume of a sphere, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed, and you will get your answer. We move on to question number 4. The surface area of a sphere of volume 8788 over 3 pi is k pi, where k is a constant to be determined. What is the value of k? So here, look, they gave us the volume of a sphere, which is 8788 over 3 pi. But they want us to find what? They want us to find the surface area, but not the radius. So we'll have to do it in 2 steps. The first step is to first find the radius, and then using the radius, we will find what? We will find the surface area. Okay, so let us start with the first question. Not the first question, the first step. The first step is to find the radius. So our volume is 8788 over 3 pi. It is equal to the equation of the volume of a sphere, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Now we can cancel the things that are in common. For example, 3 and 3 is cancel. You can cancel it. Pi and pi, you can cancel it. You are left with 8788 is equal to 4 r cubed. Now divide both sides by 4. You're going to get 8788 over 4, which is 2197. 2197 is equal to r cubed. Do the cubic root for both of them. Okay, so again on your calculator, if you cannot find it, you do shift radical 2197, and you will get the answer to be what? To be 13. So r is equal to 13. But is this what we need? Do we need the value of the radius? No, we do not need the value of the radius, but we need the value of the surface area. So remember with me, what is the equation of the surface area? Very simply, it is what? It is 4 pi r squared. Okay, and we have the radius. We found it in the previous step. Now all we need to do is substitute the radius over here. So it's 4 times pi times 13 squared. Put it on your calculator. You are going to get 676 pi. So they told us the answer is k pi. They want us to find the value of k. So you will remove the pi, and the value of k, it is what? It is 676. We move on to question number 5. Given equation has the roots of 1 over 4 plus radical b and 1 over 4 minus radical b, where b is greater than 0. Find the value of b. Okay, so over here we'll need to do what? We'll need to first of all find the roots. If you have the option on your calculator, you can do mod 5 3, and you can put for a 16 and for b minus 8 and for c minus 47, and you are gonna get 2 answers. However, if you do not have this option on your calculator, then you will have to use what? You'll have to use the discriminant method. Okay, so what is the discriminant method? Discriminant method is discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac, first of all. So let's find the discriminant, okay? What is b squared? It's minus 8 squared minus 4 times 16 times minus 47. Put it on your calculator. Minus 4 times 16 times minus 47, you will get an answer of 3072. So 3072, this is what? This is the value of the discriminant. Okay, so now in order for us to find the value of the roots, x, which is the roots, it's equal to minus b plus or minus radical discriminant over 2a. So in this case, it's going to be what? It's going to be minus 8 plus or minus radical discriminant, which is 3072 over 2a, so 2 times 16. Put it on your calculator. Let us see what answers we get. Minus 8 plus radical 3072 over 2 times 16. You're supposed to get these 2 answers. You're supposed to get 1 plus or minus 4 radical 3 over 4. But here you have something like a small trick that they did. They put no 4 next to the radical b. So what you have to do over here is you have to separate them into 2 fractions. So in this case, it's going to be 1 over 4 plus or minus 4 radical 3 over 4. The 4 and 4 is going to cancel, and you will be left with what? You will be left with 1 over 4 plus or minus radical 3. So very simply, that means the value of b is what? The value of b is 3. We move on to question number 6. The given system of equations has a solution AB where A is positive. Find the value of A. So when they say it like this, There's many different ways of solving it, but this is all what? A system of equations. So what you have to do is you have to substitute. This is the main idea. So you could either substitute by putting 3x minus 1 in the brackets instead of y. So this is one way of doing it, but my personal favorite on how to do it is this way. I would first of all like to find the square root of x plus y squared. In that case, you're going to have the two equations, y equals 3x minus 1, okay? And then after you do the radical, it's going to be what? It's going to be x plus y is equal to plus or minus 3. Because you're doing a radical 9, you can have two answers, plus or minus 3. Okay, then what I would like to do, I would like to substitute this over here instead of y. So now, x plus 3x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 3. Move this to the other side. 4x is equal to plus or minus 3 plus 1. If it is plus 3, you will have what? You will have that 4x is equal to plus 3 plus 1, which is 4. That means x is equal to 1. Or 4x, if it's minus 3, is equal to minus 3 plus 1, which is minus 2. That means x is equal to minus 1 over 2. Now let us see what they want from us. We found two values of x. They said it has a solution AB where A, which is x in this case, because AB is basically xy. So if they're talking about A, they're talking about x. If they're talking about B, they're talking about y, where A is positive. So we have two values of x. We have x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1 over 2. So if they want it positive, you'll definitely have to take the positive value, which in this case is 1. We'll move on to the next question, which is question number 7. In the xy plane, the graphs of the two equations in the system given above intersect at exactly one point xy. What is the value of x? They want to find the value of x where these two graphs intersect. Okay, so here you have to pay attention to the keywords. Intersect exactly one point xy. What does this mean? This means that the two equations are equal to each other. That means 2x squared plus 8x plus 20 is equal to what? It's equal to 2 minus 4x. Okay, so now look what's gonna happen. You're gonna move these to the other side, okay, and you will be left with 2x squared plus 8x plus 4x plus 20 minus 2. So after more simplification, you're gonna get what? You're gonna get, this is x by the way, you're gonna get 20. Is that 20? No. My bad, yeah, it's x. I read it as 20. I can't even read my own handwriting, oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna have 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. Okay, this is after simplification. Now, if you want to find the single value, you could either use your calculator by doing mod 5(3), and then in A you will put 2, in B you will put 12, and in C you are gonna put 18, and you will get a single value of x, okay? However, if you do not have this option on your calculator, you will have to use the discriminant method. So what is the discriminant method? Discriminant, you just need to do b squared minus 4ac. Okay, you're gonna take b, what is b? 12. So 12 squared minus 4 times what? Times 2 times what? Times 18. So put it on your calculator. 12 squared minus 4 times 2 times 18. You're gonna get what? You're gonna get 0. But remember, whenever you have 0, whenever your discriminant is equal to 0, that means you have what? You have only one solution. Okay? By the way, radical 0 is 0, so there's no point in putting it in the roots. But if you want to put it, yes, you can put it. So what is the equation of the roots? Equation of the roots is equal to minus b plus or minus radical discriminant over 2a. So what is minus b? Minus b in this case is going to be minus 12, so it's minus 12. Plus or minus radical 0, which is 0, so there's no point in putting it, by the way. So it's minus 12 over 2a, so over 2 times 2. So minus 12 over 4, which is in this case minus 3. By the way, it's the same answer that the people who have this, like the mod 5(3) on their calculator get. So the answer is what? The answer is minus 3. We move on to question number 8. The sum of the roots of the given equation is 4 and their product is minus 6. Find the value of a. Okay, so remember that sum is equal to minus b over a and product is equal to c over a. let us start first of all with the product. What is our product? Our product is minus 6. It's equal to C. What is C? So this over here is A, this over here is B, and this over here is C. So it's equal to C, which is what? Which is 3B, over A, but you're only gonna take the numbers, not X. You will take everything except X. So in this case, it's 3B over 5. Move this to the other side. You will get minus 30 is equal to 3B. So the value of B is equal to what? It's equal to minus 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute the value of B in the equation over here. So if that's the case, it's going to be minus 10 times 2A minus 10, because B is minus 10. Or in simplified form, it's minus 10 times 2A plus 10. Okay, now we will apply the equation of the sum. So what is the sum? The sum is 4. It is equal to minus B, so minus 10 times 2A plus 10, as we found before, over what? Over A. What is A in this case? A is 5. So bring 5 to the other side. You're going to get what? You are going to get 20. So 20 is equal to minus 10 times 2A plus 10. طيب, what happens if you divide from both sides with minus 1? If you divide from both sides with minus 1, you're going to get minus 20 is equal to what? Is equal to minus 10 times 2A plus 10. And now to simplify it even more, you can divide both sides by minus 10. And you will get what? You will get that 2 is equal to 2A plus 10. Move 10 to the other side. You will get that minus 8, because 2 minus 10 is minus 8. Minus 8 is equal to what? It's equal to 2A. So that means the value of A is what? The value of 8 is the value of A is minus 4. Very simply, minus 4. We move on to question number 9. Refer to the figure below to answer the question. Okay, here you have to use what? You have to use the rule of the scale factor, the volume factor, and the area factor. So what is the value of K? We know that area HGI over area HGJ. Okay, so look. Triangle HGI, where is triangle HGI? It's this small triangle over here. Triangle HGJ, it's this big triangle, this big triangle over here. So in order for us to find the ratio of area to area, first thing we will need to do is find the ratio of side to side. But remember, these sides have to be the same side. So if you take the side that is, for example, the smaller side, you will have to take the smaller side in the other triangle. If you take the hypotenuse, you'll have to take the hypotenuse in the other triangle. So in this case, the only thing we know about triangle HGI is its hypotenuse, which is 15. So side of triangle HGI, it is what? It is 15. Over side of triangle HGJ. That means we will need to find what? We will need to find the hypotenuse of the big triangle. In order for us to find it, because it is a right triangle, you can apply Pythagoras theorem. So when you apply Pythagoras theorem, it's 15 squared plus 20 squared. Radical answer, and you will get a value of 25. So the value of the hypotenuse over here, it is what? It is 25. So side of triangle HGI, more specifically hypotenuse, is 15. Over side of triangle HGJ, which is the hypotenuse in this case, is 25. Put it on your calculator to simplify. So 15 over 25, you will get the simplified version to be 3 over 5. But now over here you have what? You have the side factor, or the scale factor. Us, we need what? We need the area factor. So to move from the side factor to the area factor, you will have to square it. So very simply, you will have to square 3 over 5. What is 3 over 5 squared? It is very simply 9 over 25. So the value of K in this case, it's going to be what? It is going to be 9. So 9 is our answer. Let's submit, and hopefully we don't have any mistakes. And perfect. Thank God we don't have any mistakes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful day.